Today, I would like to address a topic to you and convey a message of to never compromise your values, your core values. Because when you compromise your core values, you lose yourself, you lose your identity. Ladies and gentlemen, do not lose yourself. It's the subject and the topic of today's talk. I went to a school here in New Delhi. I was wondering how come it was easy for my classmates to be able to do spellings, to solve math problems, to make friends very easily. Why was I struggling in that? How come my classmates could make friends and I'm here sitting on a corner crying because I couldn't make a friend? It was tough. I used to give my 100% effort, saying, why do I have to play catch up all the time? I even remember during a recess break, I saw some students playing a game. I wanted to be part of this. They said, do you know how to play games? Do you know how the rules? I said, yes. The game was cricket. They made me the umpire. In today's society, we often judge people. And when we judge people, we put on various masks. We have these different masks with our friends, or different masks with our colleagues, and different masks with our in-laws. And when you compromise your values, you lose your identity. In school, when I compromised my own values to play cricket with these students, to be an umpire, to make friends, a few years later, my parents got a call at the age of 11. They said, your son can no longer be part of the school. Why? He can't compete with his classmates. He's not making friends. He's dumb. He's stupid. He's retarded. My parents were mystified. They said, how can this be? Our son is so bright. Our son is so smart. He's a kind-hearted child. My parents had to decide what to do next. Luckily for my father, he reads papers for businesses. And in this business, he read a paper one day, Lab School of Washington, D.C. And in the Lab School of Washington, D.C., it said, learning through the arts. My mom and I flew to the United States. When we got there, I did some few tests. I saw the school. And they said, this school is perfect for your son. When they said that, I was scared. I was scared I would be teased, bullied. I was scared that I won't be able to do my studies with the classmates, to catch up to them. I was fortunate that I got a chance to go to the school because I learned in order to not compromise your values, there are 5 mantras which I've got through my experience, which I'm going to share to you today. I learned it is okay to be different. We are all different, ladies and gentlemen. It is okay to be different. I was diagnosed with a learning disability. Now, what is a learning disability? A learning disability is a scientific term that my brain is wired differently. So such skills or tasks don't come easy to me. They might come easy to you, such as language, such as social skills, or even motor skills like tying your buttons or even shoelaces. I learned that the one-size-fits-all approach does not work. I accepted to be different. As you can see on the slide here, behind me, the teacher saying, in order to be first fair selection, everybody has to climb that tree. Now, we can't expect an elephant to climb a tree or a penguin to climb a tree. The one size fits all. I may look like my peers, but I learned differently. My brain was wired differently. I accepted that it's my core value. I accepted that, to be different. When I accepted that, I started to excel in school. I started to be me. I started to shine again. And the school taught me the way I was supposed to learn. So the first mantra, it's okay to be different. The second mantra that I learned was take your strengths to overcome your weaknesses. What do I mean by that? We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. That's a part of a fact. A few years passed, my sister went on to college. I was ready to go to boarding school, and my mom wanted to go back to India. Being separate from my dad for 4 years was not easy on my dad. It took a toll on our family. So we decided to go to boarding school. I learned a lot in boarding school, but the one thing I took is take our strengths to overcome our weaknesses. Some of us might be poor in writing, but great in computers. Some of us might be poor in talking, but great as public speakers. But if you take your power, your strengths, to overcome your weaknesses, you will excel. No one can say no to you. We all have that. That's the second mantra I learned. The third mantra that I learned is goals. We all have goals. We all have goals that we want to achieve in life. There is something we want to do. If you have the determination, the willingness, you can achieve that goal. Folks, we have one tool that we keep carrying with us 24/7, all the time with us. But do we ever think of using it? Do you know what that tool is? The power of our minds. Our minds are so powerful if you think of it today. If you think of something positive will happen, if you think of something negative will happen. Our minds, yes, do they play tricks on us? Yes, they do. But our minds are so, so powerful. Just imagine how powerful your minds are. I would like to share another story with you, how powerful our minds are. Again, in the United States, at class 10, I was in the dentist's chair. Now, dentists are not fun. And I remember that I would like to be the graduation speaker in my boarding school. I had 2 years to go to be a graduate speaker, to be in class 12. 2 years passed, and the committee said, dear students, we are opening applications. If you'd like to be a graduate speaker, you're most welcome. Now, in the US, to be a graduate speaker, you had to be pretty smart. You had to be an honorable student and have a GPA of 3.8, 3.9, or even a 4.0. But I said, no, that is my goal in hand, and I'm going to be the graduate speaker. I applied. A few years passed. The committee called us, said that we've made our decision. Please come to this room, and we'll let you know who the winner is. Now, before that happened, I went there. And they announced that, dear students, for the first time in school history, there's been a tie. And before they announced the winners, I was sitting there in the chair. I remember clearly I was sitting in that chair. And they said, my name is chosen. They announced one girl's name. There were 4 of us applying, and me. And when they announced my name, I achieved my goal. I had that power in my mind that I got selected to be a speaker. Now imagine that if I said no, I did not get accepted, what would it be like? I had that in the power in my mind. If you have positive energy and use your power and determination, you can achieve any goal in life. To show you how powerful our minds is, I would like to do a slight exercise with you today. Now, before I ask you, I would like you all to close your eyes. Okay? When you close your eyes, think of something positive. And when I clap my hand again, open your eyes. Are we ready? Okay. I request you to close your eyes and think of something positive. Let's go. Open your eyes. Can you feel the energy in this room? Can you feel the positive vibe? Do you see how positive our minds and how powerful our minds are? We have our minds to make that. If you want to achieve the goal, you have that positive energy. No one can say no to you. No one. This is the third mantra I learned in school, and about being core to values. The fourth mantra is acknowledging your mistakes. Now, what do I mean by this? Acknowledging mistakes. We are humans after all. We are going to make mistakes, maybe daily, monthly, weekly. But when you acknowledge your mistakes is the key. It's the key that you will learn your lesson. When you acknowledge your mistakes, it's okay. We are humans after all. But when you acknowledge this, it's the learning part. And the willingness to forgive. Now, what do I mean by willingness to forgive? Yes, you should forgive the other person who might have hurt you or you might have hurt. But to forgive yourself. Once you learn to acknowledge your mistake and forgive yourself, you can let go of that anger, the pain, the sadness. And when you let go of the anger, pain, and sadness is the key. Then you can start living your life again. Forgiveness is not an easy task, but when you acknowledge your mistake and forgive, it's when you can start developing your true identity. You can start living again. You feel light inside you. And the fifth mantra, which I believe is finding your talent. Folks, we all have talents. You have to go find that talent that you want to start with. That niche, if you look at your talent, you can achieve that. You can make your own story in this talent. Now I'd like to give you an example of the Commonwealth Games that's happening in Australia currently. Now imagine the athletes, look how wonderful they're doing. They knew what their strengths and weaknesses are. They know that this can be different. They found their goals, and now they're winning medals for their countries. They found their niche. When you find your niche and find your value, you will never compromise your values. You get rid of that masks you've been wearing for different people. In order, we don't want to fit in. We try to compromise our values to fit in, to make that friend. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the 5 mantras. It's okay to be different, to be different. Taking your strengths to overcome your weaknesses. Goals, to find your own goals. When you find your goals, you start living. 2, acknowledging your mistakes with the willingness of forgiveness. And last, finding your hidden talent. When you take these 5 mantras, through my stories, when I've learned these 5 mantras, I stick to my core values. I didn't put a mask on for anybody. When you do that, you have the power, the impact, the inspiration. And when you put these together, ladies and gentlemen, you can make your story that can change this world for the betterment. Thank you so much for your time.